In the heart of Umuachi, a village blessed with lush greenery and fertile lands, lived Adamma, whose beauty was whispered about in every corner. Her skin glowed like the morning sun, her eyes sparkled with mischief, and her laughter could brighten the gloomiest day. Adamma's presence was a gift, and everyone adored her. The elders praised her grace, the children danced around her, and the young men sang songs inspired by her beauty. Yet, for all the admiration she received, Adamma longed for true companionship. She tried to make friends with the other maidens, inviting them to gather by the sacred iroko tree, where cool shades provided relief from the sun. They would weave baskets, share stories, and laugh until the birds joined their chorus. But tragedy always followed. Without fail, each maiden who grew close to Adamma was found lifeless beneath the ancient tree. Their faces were serene, as if asleep, but no one could explain why their hearts had stopped. Fear spread through Umuachi, and the villagers began to whisper about a curse. Adamma's beauty became her burden, and loneliness her only companion. Days turned into weeks, and the villagers grew weary of Adamma. Mothers warned their daughters to keep their distance, and friends became strangers. Though she carried herself with dignity, Adamma felt the sting of rejection. The once lively gatherings beneath the iroko tree ceased, and the songs inspired by her beauty faded into silence. In the evenings, she sat alone by the riverbank, gazing at her reflection and wondering why misfortune followed her. The winds began to whisper, echoing her loneliness. They carried faint voices, soft and mournful, as if the spirits of her lost friends were calling out to her. Adamma shivered, but she couldn't turn away. She felt drawn to the voices, compelled to listen. Every night, the whispers grew louder, leading her thoughts back to the iroko tree. She began to wonder if the tree held the answers to her pain. But the fear of its mystery kept her from seeking the truth. Haunted by the whispers, Adamma decided to seek the wisdom of Nwando, the village oracle known for her connection to the spirit world. Clad in beads and feathers, Nwando's heart was filled with the scent of herbs and the echoes of ancient chants. The flames of the oracle's fire danced as Adamma entered, casting shadows that seemed to watch her every move. Nwando's eyes were closed as she spoke, her voice heavy with caution. Child of beauty, cast by fate, you are bound to that which watches in silence. The oracle's words sent chills down Adamma's spine. The spirits demand a price. The guardian of the sacred iroko tree is not at peace. It hungers, and it feeds on the souls of those who love you. Adamma's heart sank. Nwando revealed the truth that shattered Adamma's world. Long ago, a pact was made. To protect Umuachi from evil spirits, the first daughter of your bloodline was bound to the iroko tree's guardian. In exchange for prosperity, the guardian demanded the souls of those who grew close to her. Adamma's eyes filled with tears. The deaths of her friends were the price for her family's blessings. The oracle's gaze softened. The bond is strong, a child sealed with blood and spirit. To break it will require a sacrifice. But Nwando did not say what the sacrifice would be. Adamma felt the weight of the curse bearing down on her. She had to find a way to end it, even if it meant confronting the guardian herself. Determined to end the curse, Adamma ventured to the sacred iroko tree at midnight, when the moon hung high and the air was still. The tree stood majestic, its branches spreading wide like arms ready to embrace. As she approached, the air grew cold, and shadows danced beneath the tree's shade. The ground trembled slightly, and a voice echoed from within the bark, ancient and deep. You dare to come before me, the guardian's voice hissed, its tone filled with contempt. A form began to take shape from the shadows, emerging as a figure cloaked in darkness with eyes that glowed like embers. Adamma's heart raced, but she stood her ground. Why must you take my friends? Why curse me with loneliness? She demanded, her voice shaking. The guardian's laughter was bitter. Your ancestors made a vow. I protect this land, and in return, I take what I am owed. It is the price of prosperity. Adamma felt anger boiling within her. I never agreed to this. I won't let you take anyone else. But the guardian's eyes blazed with fury. You are bound to me, Adamma. You cannot escape your fate. Refusing to accept her destiny, Adamma returned to Nwando, desperate for a way to break the curse. The oracle shook her head. The bond between you and the guardian is ancient and powerful. To sever it, you must appease the spirit or face its wrath. Mwando handed Adamma a talisman crafted from sacred wood. This will protect you, but only for a time. The guardian is vengeful. Mwando spoke of a forgotten ritual hidden in the hills beyond Umuachi, where the spirits of broken bonds resided. You must seek the elder spirit, Ozioma. Only she can reveal the path to freedom. Adamma's heart raced. She had never ventured beyond the village, but for the sake of her friends and her peace, she was willing to face the unknown. Armed with the talisman and guided by courage, Adamma set out for the hills. The journey was perilous, filled with dense forest and treacherous paths. She felt the guardian's presence, a heavy weight lurking behind her, watching, waiting. Yet she pressed on, determined to break the curse. The wind howled, carrying faint whispers of her lost friends, urging her forward. Days passed as she climbed the rugged hills, exhausted but relentless. She finally reached a cave veiled by vines and guarded by ancient carvings. The air was cold, and an aura of power surrounded the place. Adamma stepped inside, her heartbeat echoing against the stone walls. She was ready to face Ozioma, the elder spirit who held the key to her freedom. Ozioma appeared as an ethereal figure, her form shifting like mist. Her voice was calm yet powerful. You seek to break a bond that was forged by blood and spirit. Such bonds are not easily broken. Adamma bowed, her voice trembling. I do not wish to cause more death. I only seek freedom from this curse. Ozioma's eyes softened. The guardian feeds on love because it was betrayed long ago. It was once a spirit of protection, but loneliness turned it bitter. To break the curse, you must restore what was lost, compassion and peace. Adamma's heart ached. How could she bring peace to such a vengeful spirit? Ozioma continued, you must confront the guardian with truth and courage. Show it the love it has been denied, and it may release you from its grasp. But be warned, spirits do not yield easily. With those words, Ozioma faded into the mist, leaving Adamma with a heavy heart and an even heavier task. Adamma made her way back to Umuachi, her mind burdened with Ozioma's words. Could love truly break the curse? She felt the guardian's presence, closer than ever, its anger palpable. The whispers of her lost friends grew louder, urging her to be strong. She had to end this cycle of death, even if it meant confronting the guardian one last time. The village watched her return with wary eyes. Rumors spread, and fear grew. But Adamma ignored the whispers, focused on her mission. She visited the families of her lost friends, offering condolences and seeking forgiveness. It was painful, but necessary. She needed their blessings for the ritual she was about to perform. With each visit, her resolve grew stronger. She would end the curse, no matter the cost. Adamma prepared for the ritual, collecting sacred herbs and oils as instructed by Mwando. She visited the shrine at dawn, praying to the spirits for guidance and protection. The villagers watched from afar, whispers of fear and curiosity mingling in the air. Yet no one dared approach her, not even out of pity. Adamma had become an outcast, the symbol of death and misfortune. But she remained resolute, knowing that she carried not just her pain, but also the spirits of her lost friends. She felt their presence around her, their souls trapped and restless. I will set you free, she vowed, tears streaming down her face. With her preparations complete, she turned towards the sacred iroko tree, ready to confront the guardian once more. Under the light of the full moon, Adamma stood before the iroko tree. The air was cold, the silence heavy. Her heart raced as shadows gathered beneath the branches, swirling and taking form. The guardian emerged, eyes glowing with fury. You dare defy me again, it roared, its voice shaking the earth. Adamma held her ground, clutching the talisman tightly. I know your pain, guardian. You were betrayed and left alone. But I will not allow you to take more lives. Her voice was steady, defiant. The guardian's form flickered, its anger wavering. You do not understand the curse you bear. It is my suffering that binds you. Taking a deep breath, Adamma stepped closer. Then let me ease your suffering. Let me show you compassion. She reached out, her hand trembling, and touched the bark of the iroko tree. A surge of energy rushed through her, the guardian's sorrow overwhelming her senses. She saw visions of its past, the protector turned prisoner, forgotten and lonely. Her heart ached, and she wept, feeling its pain as her own. The guardian's anger softened as Adamma's tears fell to the earth. Its form became clearer, revealing a face etched with sorrow. I was once a spirit of light, guarding this land and its people. But they forgot me, abandoned me to the darkness. In my loneliness, I cursed them, demanding the souls of those who loved. Adamma listened, understanding the bitterness that had consumed the spirit. Your pain is great, but revenge has only brought you more suffering. Her voice was gentle, filled with empathy. The guardian looked at her, its eyes dimming. You remind me of who I once was, compassionate and pure. Perhaps there is hope for me yet. The wind stirred, whispering softly. Adamma knew the moment had come. Release my friends, and let me help you find peace. The guardian hesitated, its form flickering. To end the curse, a bond must be broken. Are you willing to pay the price? Adamma's heart sank, but she nodded. I will do whatever it takes. The guardian's eyes grew somber. To break the curse, you must sever your bond with me. But this bond is tied to your spirit. You must give up a part of yourself. Adamma's breath caught. What will I lose? The guardian's voice was heavy. Your beauty, your charm, everything that made you beloved. Without it, you will be forgotten. The weight of the choice crushed her. Her beauty had defined her, given her love and admiration, even if it had also brought her loneliness. Could she truly let it go? She looked at the guardian, its sorrow evident, and then at the shadows of her lost friends. Their spirits were bound because of her. If she did nothing, they would remain trapped forever. Adamma closed her eyes, tears falling once more. I accept. The guardian's form glowed with light, its sorrow lifting. Your sacrifice is great, Adamma. But it will set us all free. The winds howled, the branches of the iroko tree trembling. The ground beneath her feet glowed, and she felt a searing pain as her spirit was torn from the curse. Her beauty faded, her glow dimming. She collapsed, exhausted and broken. A powerful gust of wind surged through the village, shaking the earth and sending a chill through every home. The villagers awoke in panic, peering through their windows to see the light emanating from the sacred iroko tree. As the light faded, shadows rose, swirling upwards before dispersing into the night sky. The souls of Adamma's lost friends were finally free. Adamma lay beneath the tree, her body weak, her beauty gone. Her once radiant skin was now dull, her eyes dim. She felt empty, as though a piece of her soul had been taken. But she also felt peace, the weight of the curse lifted. The whispers were gone, the sorrow of the guardian replaced with gratitude. She had broken the cycle of death, but at a great cost. The guardian's voice was gentle, no longer filled with bitterness. You have freed me from my pain, and for that, I am grateful. May your sacrifice be remembered, even if you are forgotten. With that, the guardian faded into the tree, its form dissolving into light. The tree stood still, majestic and peaceful, its curse broken at last. When Adamma awoke, the sun was rising, its golden rays casting light upon the village. Her body ached, her spirit weary. She looked at her hands, now rough and plain, no longer adorned with the glow of beauty. She felt a pang of loss but reminded herself of what she had gained, freedom for her friends and peace for the guardian. She stood slowly, her legs trembling. As she made her way back to the village, she noticed the air felt lighter, the shadows no longer menacing. The curse was truly broken. But as she walked through the familiar paths, the villagers barely glanced at her. Those who once sang her praises now saw her as just another face. She was no longer Adamma the beautiful, but merely Adamma, the girl who was once loved. Her heart ached with the realization, but she continued walking. This was the price she had agreed to pay. Loneliness lingered, but she found solace in knowing that her sacrifice had saved others. Even if they did not remember her, she had fulfilled her purpose. Her spirit was free, even if her heart was heavy. Days turned into weeks, and life in Umuachi returned to normal. The deaths had ceased, and the villagers rejoiced, believing the curse to be lifted. Yet, no one spoke of Adamma. They no longer sang her praises or gathered around her. To them, she was just another maiden, unremarkable and plain. The memories of her beauty and grace faded, as though they had been carried away by the wind. Adamma walked through the village unseen, her presence a shadow of what it once was. She watched as the other maidens laughed together, weaving baskets and sharing stories, just as she had once dreamed of doing. But no one invited her to join. They glanced at her briefly, eyes blank with no recognition. Even her own family seemed distant, treating her with the cold courtesy reserved for strangers. Her heart broke, but she knew this was her penance. Desperate for solace, Adamma visited Nwando, the oracle who had guided her through her journey. The old woman's eyes widened when she saw Adamma's changed appearance. "So, you chose to break the bond," Nwando murmured, her voice tinged with sorrow. "I warned you of the price, yet you still paid it. Your spirit is strong, Adamma." Adamma's voice trembled. "They do not remember me. Not even my own family." Nwando nodded solemnly. "Your beauty was tied to the curse, a gift given in exchange for the guardian's hunger. When you broke the bond, that gift was taken from you." Adamma's shoulders sagged, the weight of her choice crushing her. "Will I be forgotten forever?" Nwando's gaze softened. "Time will heal the wounds of memory. They may not remember your face, but they will remember the peace you brought to Umuachi. And someday, a new song will be sung, of a maiden who sacrificed her beauty to save her friends. Your legacy will live on, even if your name does not." Adamma wandered the village, lost in her thoughts. She had saved the souls of her friends and freed the guardian from its sorrow, but at the cost of her identity. She felt hollow, a stranger in her own home. Yet, the village thrived once more, free from fear and death. The laughter that once haunted her was now a reminder of the peace she had restored. Determined to find meaning, Adamma began helping the villagers in small ways, carrying water from the river, tending to the crops, then comforting the children. Though no one recognized her, they grew to appreciate her kindness. Slowly, they welcomed her presence, not because of her beauty, but because of her heart. Adamma realized that even without her charm, she could still be loved. The seasons changed, and with them, Adamma's sorrow lessened. She became a part of the village again, not as the enchanting maiden she once was, but as a kind soul who brought comfort and joy to those around her. She no longer mourned the loss of her beauty, for she had gained something greater, belonging. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, Adamma stood before the sacred iroko tree, its branches swaying gently. The air was peaceful, no longer haunted by whispers. She felt the guardian's presence, warm and serene. "Thank you," a voice whispered, as soft as the wind. Adamma smiled, tears of relief streaming down her face. She had finally made peace with her past. Turning away from the tree, she looked back at the village that once adored her for her beauty. Now, they accepted her for who she truly was. Adamma walked back, her spirit lighter, her heart content. She had found herself, not in admiration or praise, but in love and sacrifice. Years passed, and the story of the cursed iroko tree became a legend in Umuachi. Mothers warned their children to stay away, and the elders spoke of a maiden whose beauty was unmatched, but whose heart was even greater. Though her name was forgotten, her legacy remained. The villagers believed that the tree's guardian had been freed by a soul so pure that even the spirits wept. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a young boy sat beneath the iroko tree, strumming a handmade lyre. He sang a song he did not know he knew, the words flowing like a forgotten memory. She was beauty beyond compare, but her heart was her greatest gift. She freed the lost and brought peace to the land, though her name is lost to time. The wind carried the melody through the village, and the people paused, listening to the haunting tune. They did not know who the song was about, but they felt its sorrow and its hope. In that moment, Adamma's spirit danced through the air, her sacrifice remembered in the whispers of the wind. She had become a legend, the guardian of love and sacrifice, forever bound to the land she saved.